This is a scrapbook that pretty much about my grandfather, Ernest Maas, who had a store called Wild Maas, and just a whole thing about him and his activities in the city of Tampa, and a lot of these articles that were written way back in the 30s. And there's Simon Esrig.
Oh, wow. Who had all this stuff?
My mother keeps all that. I guess she just kept it for years. Well, that's a very interesting part, the Shine side of the family, because as the story goes, my grandfather lived in Austria, and he and his brothers, they were brewers, and he and his brothers apparently were in a pub or a bar one night, and they got into some kind of altercation or conflict with some Russian soldiers. And afterwards, they were told by people in the community, you're going to have to leave here because they'll come back. They'll come back for you. This is like, pre-World War I stuff. So the brothers left Austria and went to New York. And while they were in New York, they were settling in. My grandfather apparently had asthma or some kind of health issues. So he and one of his brothers, I believe it was Paul Shine, my grandfather was Lewis, got on a train, and they were coming south to get into warmer weather. And apparently the train got to Tampa, and it was like, this is it, end of the road. And so my grandfather Lewis got off there and apparently asked around, where can I go? Where is there, where are the Jewish community? Where can I go? And they sent him to Ybor City. And the irony of the story is that prior to them leaving Austria, they used to house and feed and put people up, Russian Jews who were escaping Russia. And one of the families that they helped had settled apparently in Tampa. And when my grandfather was on the streets of Ybor City, he was recognized by a gentleman whose family they had helped. And he had a store called El Blanco Sombrero, the White Hat, and he gave my grandfather a job, and that's why he stayed in Tampa.
And that man was Isidore Kaunitz.
There you go.